Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to our series, The Soul's Path Home, Divine Wisdom on Death and Beyond. Now, in our last episode, we discussed the concept of life as a divine trust and amana, and the responsibility we carry in safeguarding our souls. Today, on the 5th day of this blessed month of Ramadan, in our Ramadan Reflections, we want to focus on something that silently governs every aspect of our lives. Time. Time is one of the most valuable resources Allah has given us. It's irreplaceable, irreversible, and above all, fleeting. Allah swears by time in chapter 103 of the Noble Quran, Surah Al-Asr, where He says, "By time, indeed, humanity is in loss, except for those who have faith and do righteous deeds, and urge one another to truth, and urge one another to patience." Now, whenever Allah swears by something in the Quran, it highlights its significance. Here, He swears by time, emphasizing its critical role in human life. Yet, despite this importance, most of us tend to waste it or take it for granted. We can understand our time on earth in the following way. Look, we're creatures of time. If time remains, so does life. When time departs, so does life. The clock of life is always ticking, and with every second that passes, we are getting closer to our meeting with Allah. With that said, what is the reality of time? Well, the use of the word Asr in Surah Al-Asr refers not just to the passing of time in general, but to specific critical moments, moments that define our destiny in this world and the hereafter. It's a reminder that life is brief and every second matters. Whether we are aware of it or not, every tick of the clock brings us closer to our ultimate end, death. Time is the currency with which we purchase our hereafter. Every second presents an opportunity to do good, to strengthen our relationship with Allah, and to prepare for the inevitable journey ahead. But how often do we truly value our time is the question. As for the importance of time and accountability, our beloved teacher, our guide and our leader and our master, Prophet Muhammad, may Allah bless him and his family, he warned us, recognizing the importance of time in a famous hadith where he's quoted as having said, "The feet of a servant will not move on the day of judgment until they are asked about 5 things, about their life and how they spent it, about their youth and how they wore it out, about their wealth, how they earned it and on what they spent it, and about their knowledge, what they did with it, what they did with what they knew." 2 out of these questions deal directly with time, our life in general and our youthful days in particular. The youth period is the most energetic and productive period of a person's life, yet it's often wasted in distractions, in video games, and just general fun. Now, from an Islamic perspective, time should be seen as an investment, as we said. Just as a wise businessman would seize every opportunity to increase their wealth and always do research before they invest their money, so too a believer seizes every moment to increase their spiritual wealth and ensure that they don't waste even a minute of their precious time. Every prayer, every kind word, every effort to do good becomes an asset for the hereafter. Now, jumping back to Surah Al-Asr, we see that Allah outlines the formula for escaping loss. Point 1 was faith, believing in Allah and His promises. Point 2 was righteous deeds, using our time to act upon that belief. And point 3 is urging one another to truth, helping others to stay on the straight path. And last but not least, point 4, which is to urge one another to patience. being steadfast in times of difficulty. Now, Sheikh Muhsin Qaraati in his Tafsir An-Nur explains that these four elements form the pillars of a successful life. Without them, a person is in loss, regardless of how wealthy or accomplished they appear in this world. Let's turn our attention to the third Imam, Imam Husayn ibn Ali, peace be upon both of them, and the importance of valuing time. A powerful example comes from the life of the third Imam. On that day of Ashura, despite being surrounded by enemies and knowing his time on earth was about to end and he would be killed in the most brutal of ways, Imam Husayn, peace be upon him, did not waste a single moment. He spent his last hours in prayer, guiding his companions, reminding the enemies about their accountability before Allah. And even in the face of death, he valued time as a means to draw closer to Allah. This lesson is crucial for us, brothers and sisters. No matter how difficult our circumstances may be, time should always be spent in ways that benefit our soul. Time is a trust from Allah, and we will be held accountable for how we spent it. Faith, righteous deeds, truth, and patience, they're essential to making the best use of time. The youth, time we have, and our health are among the greatest blessings, and they can not and should not and must not be wasted. The life of Imam Husayn, peace be upon him, teaches us that even in the most difficult moments, time should be used to serve Allah and humanity. Time is one of the most precious gifts Allah has given us, as I've said. Let's not waste it in a life of heedlessness. As that clock of life continues to tick, let's strive to fill every moment with faith, good deeds, and sincere efforts to prepare for the hereafter. In our next episode, we're going to discuss hearts of light, living with taqwa, and how our well-being, our spiritual well-being, plays a crucial role in fulfilling our divine purpose. Until then, may Allah grant us all the ability to value our time and use it wisely. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.